And here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one and all to the Vobes show. It's the 26th of June 2019. I'm here on my lonesome todsome, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just get up the chat thing so we can see who's there. The lovely Julia has arrived. Poor old lovely Julia, I hasten to add. She's not very well at the moment, so I want a big ah from everyone. Ah, she's got the squits and the diarrhea. I've got the verbal diarrhea, but she's got the real thing, so that's a bit of a shame. Steve Pilfold is here. He says 1 minute early. What's going on? Who can tell what time it is, where it is, and when it is? Only Steve Pilfold, because he works for the railways, and they have to be pin sharp, ladies and gentlemen. Pin sharp. Never mind. What did he say? Live stream offline. What do you mean live stream offline? Hang on a minute. I'm just going over there. I can see it, mate. Don't confuse me. Don't confuse me. I can see it. I can see myself. It says I'm live and it says the stream health is good. So park your bike somewhere else and upset the other people, if you get my drift. Don't know what you're talking about. So who else we got? Mark Donny McLeod says, woohoo! Yeah, in the house I made it. Yeah, in the house I made it. Whatever that means. Andy Dalgleish, hello to you. Very nice to see you. Oh, we're in Sussex. He's now got, hang on, hold everything. He's pulled the wrong signal lever. That's what the trouble is. It's on now. Yes, I know that. Thank you. Kevin Hall is there with his rambles, which is very nice. Hello, evening all, he says. Mark Selwood, hello to you, Mark. Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming along. Peter may or may not be out there, but I believe he is out there, which is all the better. Robert Croser, hello, Rob, my old darling. Hope you're well. Getting ready for the weekend when I will be on the screen with you. Talk about that a little bit later. Dean Cooper says, very good evening to you, Mr. Vobes. Very good evening to you, sir. Hi, everyone, says Mark. Barbara Charles says, greeting folks, poor little Julia. Yes, she is very poor. She is upset that she cannot be here, but she is there. At least she is able to watch. She's got a thermometer in one hand sticking out of her mouth that end and a barometer up the other end. It's a bit of a shame for her, and she's taking every drug that the pharmacist can handle. Big funnel of get well fluid, whatever that looks like. I've no idea. I haven't been round. The house has been in quarantine, unfortunately. No visitors, big sign, no visitors, bring out your dead. And there's a great big skip with piles and piles of dead bodies. Mainly aphids, actually, to be honest with you, from the flowers. They've all died from it. But luckily, the rest of Julia and family seem to be okay, which is the best part. Anyway, we do hope that she feels well. Hello to Judith Oakley. Lovely to have you on board. Anne Osborne is here. Hello, Anne. Hope you're doing well. Andrew Norris, hello. What ho, he says, from Croatia. I don't know if you've noticed that Andrew posted a very interesting blog post about orchids. Now, Andrew, you may be the man for tonight's show, the very man. Very interesting. And also go back and have a look at some of his other vlogs. They were really interesting. Those half houses that have been derelict and left. Fascinating stuff, Andrew. I was looking at some of your stuff today. Really nice, really liked it. You've got a very gentle way with you, and a lot of people could learn from you. So we need to get some more views to your channel, definitely. You've been, as you say, you've got all this wonderful footage where you've been interested in other people and filming the Croatian way, which is absolutely amazing. I was jaw-dropped, really, watching those people with their horses and ploughs, looking how it was here in the 1930s and 40s. Absolutely stunning. And you know, there's a certain essence of genuine, I don't know, familyness and reality, proper reality that we definitely seem to have lost in this country. So more power to you, sir. More power to you. The Veg Grower podcast says, morning all. He's actually driving back from Portsmouth. So he's probably watching on his desk. Don't tell anybody, but that's probably where he is. Jordan is there. Hello, Jordan. He says, hello, Richard and everybody. Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming back, which is great. Can't anyone else that Richard looks like inside a TV screen with the black lines? Yes, this is actually pre-recorded, Peter. This is completely pre-recorded, and I'm actually on the beach with one of those Alka-Seltzers. No, not Alka-Seltzers, Shinzanos or whatever it is that they had in the... What was the one that Leonard Rossiter used to throw over Joan Collins when he had a chance? Was it Shinzano? Shinzano, wasn't it Shinzano? Or it was one of those funny fake drinks that they used to come out with. Mark Selwood is up in the big smoke at the moment in London. Oh my goodness, one of the most polluted and busiest cities in the world. One of. So that's quite interesting. Malcolm Coghill, you've managed to get here at last. It's lovely to see you. Thank you so much. Good for you. You remembered. Yes, Robert says, I do look like I'm on the telly. I can only see my comments, says Steve. Well, they're the only ones worth reading, aren't they, after all? How old, he says, it's like the good old days of Facebook. Don't say that, Steve. Please don't say that. We don't want any of that. Mark Selwood says Richard should be on the big screen. Yes, it would make it easier to throw the darts, wouldn't it, Mark? That's what you mean. I know what you're like. Laura Riddle says LOL to Peter May. And Peter says it can't just be me. No, everybody's noticed that. The lovely Emily Champion has arrived, which is great. It means we can start now that Emily is here. She's stopped marking books because she's a teacher, of course. Jonathan Belusic. Hello, Jonathan Belusic. I was only thinking of you the other day. We had a date with the swamp monster, didn't we? Over at wherever it was, and it never happened. I can't remember the name of the. It was the dragon in the thing near Littlehampton and Arundel. What's the name of that? The hole, the Knuckers hole or something. So there we are. Slap some sunscreen on your head. Oh, all right. I haven't got any to hand, I'm afraid. Sorry about Shinzano. That was it. Shinzano. There you go. They were the days. God, blimey. I think it's that sort of weather. We could all have a Shinzano, could we not? Especially Richard Suggett, who's driving back from Portsmouth. That would just help his catering wagon swerve from lane to lane, which would be quite fun if you're not in it, of course. Emily says she's still marking. Emily, here we go. I'll give you the marks. So red tick, red tick, red tick, green cross, blue, black blob. There we go. Do some of that. Just make it up. Nobody knows. The kids never look at it. Oh, you. The way the marking goes, I seem to remember, if I've got this correct, that now instead of sort of saying, oh, this is very good and this is very bad, you ask them questions. What did you think was wrong with that sentence? Do you think you've managed to write more than 10 lines? Have you actually bothered to put a pen to paper this evening, Barry? Or whoever. So there we are. Knuckerhole, that's where the dragon lives, says Robert Croser. Thank you very much. Linda Kane says, evening all. She's back from work. Phew, I bet it was hot at work today, Linda. Poor old you, struggling away. David Kitchen, hello, lovely to see you. Thanks for coming on. Claire Leach is there, which is great. I think I've said hello to most, but I may not, so please apologise if I've missed you out. We know how quickly the comments reel up. So now, Julia's not very well, so that's why she's not here. We've not been out to go out. Claire Leach suggested that I go to Barkham Mills. Claire, brilliant suggestion. I had a look online and I did mention it to the lovely Julia, and we were going to go today. I thought it would be great to try and surprise you that we had done it really quickly. However, Julia's not very well. Either that or she didn't want to go out with me to the Barkham Mills. So she thought, well, I went to Burton Mill and he's a right up for a Burton. I won't be going with him. I'll be ill instead. I'm sure that's not the case because the lovely Julia wouldn't miss the show for the world, although I haven't actually got the world to give her. Julia says to Steve, please, can you wish Cara good luck for her sports day tomorrow? Oh, yeah, good luck, Cara. At Pevensey and Westram School. She's in Year 1 and they are competing against Year 2. And I'm sure Year 1 will be far, far better than Year 2. So there we are. Must be everybody's sports day at the moment, more or less, give or take, you know. Although I understand schools are not allowed competitions, are they? They don't like the competitive spirit anymore. That's all. Everybody wins, so what's the point in taking part? You know, it's the taking part that's in it. Where's the incentive? But anyway, maybe at Steve's school they have the incentive and somebody comes away with a medal, which will be good. Nikki is downstairs cooking me that curry, says Mark. Well, Nikki doesn't watch the show anymore. She doesn't like me for some reason. She thinks that Mark and I are a bit gay. a bit camp, and so I think she's gone off me because she's always busy when the show is on. Never mind. At least Mark is there ready to chuckle his head off, which is nice. And I see Mark, if you haven't checked him out, Mark Selwood has been uploading to YouTube about every hour a new video. These are all from his catalogue that he's been putting together over the last 20 years. And he's got lots of drone flights and lots of gimbal shots and you name it, but he's put it all onto his Mark Selwood's YouTube channel. So check that out. Mark, bung the link into one of your videos, and people can go off when they get bored with me. So there we go. That would be nice. Claire says, glad you liked my suggestion to Barkham. Loved it. Very good. Thanks very much. Now, Throth Ninja. Now, I don't know who Throth Ninja is, but Rihanna's Sports Day's on Friday, and it's forecast dry and sunny in Lancashire. That is a long way to go, isn't it, if you happen to be in Sussex for your sports day? I'm guessing that you are up north, then, Throth Ninja, whoever you may be, but I love the name. I think that's really good. Our Days Out, which is Paul, he says, good evening all. Good evening, Paul. Paul also has a channel, by the way. He's looking for subscribers. So if you want to know what it's like in IKEA, then he and his missus go out, Suzanne that is, go out having a good shop round looking for stuff for the salon, don't you know. I would go and visit his salon and have my hair done because I'm a Leo, the mane, you know, the mane flows. But actually I've sent it by post because I don't actually wear my hair anymore, and Paul assures me that he's going to put it in ringlets and it's going to look absolutely lovely when it comes back. So that will be nice. Joe Merchant has arrived. Hello, Joe. Lovely to see you. Thanks for popping in. It's very good. Laura Riddle is here. Elijah Sports Day says Julia is tomorrow, but I'm not sure that she will be able to go to run him on. But I'm sure he'll go like the wind, hampered only by his long hair, which I'm assured, Julia hates it when I say, I'm sure he's going to have a haircut fairly soon. He's the only one. He's the only one who thinks he's still in the hippies. In the 70s, from the day when people used to wear long hair. Next, I'll have it permed up like this, and it looked lovely. Laura says, hope you feel better. Oh, it's just gone now. Sorry, Laura, your message has just gone. George's Railway, George Timperley. Hello, George. He says, oh, no sports day. I'll have mine. His sports is, of course, is running after trains, choo-choo trains with smoke gathering out the top of them. No competition. They are high. No competition. He says they're highly competitive. It's one of the rumours about modern school is that you aren't allowed to do anything. It's cotton wool based. Well, actually, when my kids were at school, I tell you this: when my kids were at school, that was it. There was no competition. They weren't competitive. I mean, maybe they've changed it back. And we were, as teachers, as parents, I was outraged. I said, "Oh no, there's no winners. Everybody gets a little certificate or a kick up the bum or something." It was all about the taking part. It was absolute rubbish, because nobody could, it didn't matter if they're just like ambling along going, oh, we've got to go and run up to the other end in this sack and egg and spoon thing, whatever the devil it was. So back in those days, but of course, my kids are grown up now, so things have moved on, and perhaps people have gone, I think competition is healthy for people. After all, when you get in the real world, where is the real world? I'd like someone to show me where the real world is. But when you get in it, apparently the competition is fierce, so I've been told. So there we are. D for Bricks has arrived. Hello, D for Bricks. Nice to see you. Last year we did chopping logs in Forest School. I wish you'd chop Forest School down. Well, it's probably better improved now, to be honest with you, Steve. But when I was there, they used to try and knock the school down with me. They used me as a battering ram. You might think I'm joking. That's actually a true story. But never mind that. Laura's saying hello to Joe. Dean Cooper says, I did my sports day last Sunday, all 54 miles of it. Blimey, 54 miles. What were you doing? Were you driving in your big long van? I know, you were going round Mousehole, or as Mark likes to call it, in his lovely, lazy Cornish accent, Mousehole. Mousehole. It's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it? It's beautiful, Richard. I love it from the bottom of my heart, Richard. Mousehole. I'd like to go there every year, Richard. It's just beautiful, isn't it? It is, yeah, it is very beautiful. Thanks very much. Thank you for joining me. Our Days Out says, I don't do hair, says Paul. He says, I wouldn't know where to start. I support the staff in every other way. It's his son, Paul Watts. Also Paul Watts. Yeah, so there we are. What Paul are they going to get? Is that what they ask when they come into the salon? They say, what pool are we having? Are we having the old pool or the young pool? Or are we having on the pool? Or by the pool with a Shinzano? That would be very nice. Shinzano. Oh, Leonard Rossiter sort of sounds a bit like Brucey, doesn't it? What was it? Miss Jones, Miss Jones, Miss Jones. Oh, Miss Jones. Was it Miss Jones? I can't remember. What was the what's her name? The French one, de la Tour. What was her name? Frances de la Tour. Was she Miss Jones? Miss Brown? Miss Jones? Miss Brahms? And that was from I'm Free, Miss Brahms. God, we're going into Are You Being Served? Yeah, no, it was better probably not to do that. You sound like Frank Spencer when you said, Betty. I can't, who is it who does a really good Frank? I can't do Frank Spencer at all. I'm a man. I'm a man from the bottom of my heart. Pumpkin, Richard. Isn't it? John, he says he's on the rocks. Yeah, we're all on the rocks here. Oh, Shinzano on the rocks. Yes, I'm not at all surprised. Clearly, he says, I used to go to Sports Day at my daughter's primary school, and it was very competitive, but such a waste of time because the real world is incredibly competitive. It was never competitive. Yes, and the real world is. That's right. That's right. It's fiercely competitive. But that's good, you see. That's good because meritocracy means if you're meritsome, if you deserve to get there, you will get there. And some people don't deserve to get there, and they get there because of, it's all that, what is the new phrase that we've all got to be aware of? Let's not go into it. It's all politics, and I'll get myself into trouble and be cut off. Cut off, I will be, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to. Kevin says, Mark, don't make too much noise or you'll wake up Robert. Oh, yes, because he's dozing in the mornings, is Robert, because he's only on 45 grand a year, poor bugger. 45 grand? That's just under what I paid for my house. That's like a whole mortgage in one. Dean Cooper says, Mr. Grimsdale, they're breaking all our bottles. Don't do that, Mr. Grimsdale. Oh, no. They all merge into one with me. I'm ever so sorry. Mrs. Jones. Oh, Mrs. Jones. My God. Mark Selwood says, I couldn't start having a chuckle about mouse hole. Yes. It's a nice little hole that the mouse has. I really love the video of the Iron Age in Cornwall, says Jordan. Yes, that was one of the favourite places that Mark took me. I did have to bully him about when he took me in the fog hole. I said, what are we doing in this fog hole, for goodness sake? There's damn all in here, in this fog hole. It's all foggy. I was expecting some sort of Iron Age man with a smoke machine in there producing fog from the fog hole. It's probably not pronounced that, I know, but never mind. Wish I didn't say anything, says Robert Crosser. No, there you are, you see. One grumpy moment and it all bites you in the bum. Don't you worry. I know about it. I have plenty of dodgy moments and they always bite me in the bum. People come along and then tell me how awful I am and how terrible this is and how dreadful that is. But you just have to get a thick skin. And if anyone's got one, please send one to me, care of P.O. Box, The Vobes Show, Worthing in West Sussex. It might get there, you never know. So Robert Crosser says, I was calling Richard a mousehole this morning at 5 a.m. Were you? or something. Thank you very much. I'm not at all surprised. Those Cumbrian videos, by the way, axed. Yeah, we're not showing any of that nonsense now. Cumbria, I pulled the plug on Cumbria. I pulled it. There's no such place. Northumberland now. That's where we're going to concentrate on. Northumberland. Much more civilised and nicer place by far. Carlisle and all the louts that live there on their very expensive incomes. God blimey. Who wants to know any of that? Steve Pilfold says, nothing more Britishly awkward than discussing salary figures on a P60. Yeah, no, nothing more awkward about that. I don't know what a P60 is or a P45. I haven't had one of those for about, 35, nearly 40 years. Who knows? Anyway, it's all right, Robert, says Kevin. We still like you. Is he still there? Now, ladies and gentlemen, walk in Midhurst. Oh yes, I have actually got a list of things to talk about, things that are relevant and important for all you lovely people out there. On this Sunday coming, if you happen to be in Cumbria, you could hitch a lift and get yourself down to Midhurst, where we're going to be having one of Kevin's rambles around Midhurst. We're going to look round the St Anne's Hill and a little bit of the Cowdrey ruins. And then if you're really up to it and you're not pregnant and feeling ill, we could go over to Bembo's Pond and drown and have a walk around some of the wonderful trees there. Might even get to see the Queen Elizabeth tree if it's still standing, which I'm sure it is. I'm still standing. Whatever it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Where in Sussex says he's got to do his tax return. Do you have to do your tax? I don't have to do mine until the end of January. I get it in early in January. I get the thing in October telling me I've got to get it in, but boof, I get it in just after Christmas usually, sometimes. And so that's it. Malcolm Coggins says, quite well, Cumbria is a made-up place like Sandwell. My pet hate, says Mr. Coghill. Yes, there we are. We're going to the Peak District, I should mention, next week. I say we, Kevin Hall and the lovely Sue Blount and I. Well, Sue, I think, is already up there, to be honest with you. And Kevin and I are going up to meet up with Sue, who's in the Peak District. And we've got a whole host of things. Kevin's got some surprises up his sleeves. We don't want to look up those, just in case they frighten us, scare the horses, that sort of thing. Kevin's already offered to do the driving, so I'm going to take my eye out and put an eye patch over the other one. So I'll be all right. I won't see anything. I'll just hear the loud clatter. No, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely lovely. Kevin is a good man, and he'll protect me from all the peaky people in the Peak District. Are there peaky people? Have we got to wear peak caps up there, for goodness sake? I haven't got a peak cap. I don't wear hats, unless I'm in Cornwall, of course. I only wear hats in Cornwall. I can't even remember if I don't think I wore my hat in Cumbria, to be honest with you. Can't remember. Maybe Robert can remember. I think I showed him my Australian G'day there hat, but I didn't actually wear it up there. I didn't really need to. But yeah, so have we got to wear peak caps in the Peak District? And is it like, Jobsworth? Is the Peak District full of Jobsworth? No, you can't really do that, I'm afraid. With their peak caps and their little, what are those boards with clips on it? Clipboard, that's the word. Is that, no, you can't climb that mountain, I'm afraid. I am the man who tells you can't do that. I'm so sorry. No, don't breathe the fresh air of the Peak District. That's not allowed, I'm afraid. Not without a permit. Are you going to a higher elevation than ground zero? Oh, dear, 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 dear. No, no, no. You can't go that high in the Peak District. Visit the peaks now. Oh, no, not without a peak cap. You can't do that, I'm afraid. Health and safety. Some people say it's all gone mad. It's just that Mr. Vobes, he's gone mad. They're all mad there, Nice to see her nice. That's what I reckon the Peak District is full of, but you never know. Sue's going to protect us. The lovely Sue Blount will protect us. So a big thank you, by the way, to Sue, if you're watching, for all the hard work that you put into organising this. Kevin's been trying to take all the credit for it. He's been saying, "Oh, hello, Richard. Kevin here. I've been working very hard on it. I've got all these things signed up. I know exactly how it's going to go. It's all going to be great. I've got everything organised." But actually, I know really it's actually Sue behind the scenes who's been working tirelessly. She hasn't slept. Nerves, you see. She's thinking, oh my God, that Richard Vobes is coming to invade the Peak District. Whatever induced him to come up here? We don't want people like that bald-headed idiot. We don't want him. Oh, I bet it was that Kevin Hall. Hello, Sue. Kevin here. I was thinking of bringing the Richard up to Peak District. No, don't do that. No, for God's sake. No, it's all right. I'll have him under control. I'll have him tethered. I'll have him tethered to my gimbal. I'll have my dark glasses on and my big hat, and I'll have all my Ghostbuster equipment, so we'll be all right, and I'll have him tethered in a cage. He'll be perfectly fine in the Peak District. Maybe we can throw him off the roaches. Oh, but I think he wants to go to Bakewell. Well, we'll bake him in the tart. Don't you worry, Sue. We'll have him sorted. And we'll make some videos of it at the same time. Oh, that sounds nice. So that's how I feel it's all going to go, which should be great. Lara is there. Hello, Lara. Should mention Lara Sargent is going to be making an appearance on this show in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks to the day, 10th of July. Put that date in your diary. And when you've done that, open the diary again, take the date out because they're quite sticky, remove the stone and then put it back in again. 10th of July, the lovely Lara Sargent. Lara Sargent has done a little bit of a vlog on the Bald Explorer, Facebook page, the group page that we have. And she went to Pagham recently and showed us some Pagham stuff. And I think, what's his name? Paganini was there. Was he Paganini? Was he there? Paganini? Is it Paganini? The well-known orchestra, the trumpet player, isn't he? Paganini? I can't remember who he is. He's a bit of a meanie. Eeny, meeny, Paganini. Whatever his name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Lara just went off on some surreal, like I never do, a surreal moment there. Sorry if I can't see all of your wonderful things. Oh, Henry's Adventures is there. Hello, thank you for joining me. Henry's Adventures, hello, thank you for joining me. Let's go and have a look at some of these amazing stations now. This is the train 472 from Ashington North, and it's going to be going up to Ashington West in about 10 seconds. Thank you for joining me. Good old Henry, we like Henry. I'm determined, Henry, that you and I are going to make a video together at some point. Don't worry, I know we can't fix it for this Peak District trip, but we will. I will get up to see you sometime. Somehow. Hang on, let me go back now just for a moment and just quickly go through some of these comments because it's all gone a bit haywire. I've got lots of other bits and pieces to tell you about, which is very exciting. Malcolm Cowie says, oh yeah, Cumbria is that. Near Bragadoon. Achei, no, it's near Bragadoon. We are doomed, Captain Mannering. Joe says it's a ducking pond. I'm not quite sure what he's referring to. Yippee! The Peak District. Done all the Peak District jokes. Tax return. I know I owe tax, but as I'm employed, if I want not to pay it in a lump, the earlier I get it in, the more I can spread my load. Oh, nice. Robert says, don't wear it. My daughter says you look like Paddy from Emmerdale. I haven't seen Emmerdale. I don't have a television. I don't watch television, ladies and gentlemen. Best move I've ever done is to get rid of the television. I don't watch it. It's all rubbish, mostly. And it wastes your time. When I could be doing this, wasting your time instead, which is much more fun, to be honest with you. Laura Riddle says, can you take your eye out? Is that a request or is that just a question of whether it's possible? Yes, I can take my eye out, and I frequently do take my eye out, and I do wash it, but unlike a lot of people who think that if you have a false eye, got your falsies, have you? Yeah, that's right. I don't put it in a glass by my bed, no. But do you want me to take it out on the show? That's a complete whole different case. Sue Blount says, yes, he has. That's obviously about Kevin. Kevin's Ramble says, oi, I've upset Kevin now. Obviously, the Peak District is now off, which is a bit of a shame because I have this rather lovely book that was sent in by the rather lovely Cheryl Craggs, who says, dear Richard, please find enclosed a book I hope you will find useful. My mum's cousin recently visited from UK in Australia and picked up this on her way to me. As I know you're going to the Peak District, I thought it may be handy. Take care and best wishes, Cheryl Craggs. Well, Cheryl, thank you so much. I don't know if you're watching, but because I haven't seen your name come up, but I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that we've got this. We have got a very... We've got a very packed itinerary, and I only had an email from the lovely Sue Blount only an hour or so ago saying, here, I found this church buried deep beneath the crust of the earth. It's 752,000 fathoms down in a deep recess. Fancy going? And I first thought was, hang on, is this like, got to push me off the cliff, or have I got to abseil down to it, or is it a volcano that is yet, and there's a church at the bottom of the garden. There's a church at the bottom of my garden, and its name is St. Michael's. It's a nice church. Anyway, so we have got a packed one, but this has got some amazing walks. I was trying to find if there was a walk near Tip Shelf. That's a place, Tip Shelf. That's actually where we're staying. Yes, it's a very narrow road in Tip Shelf, and the beds are very long, and of course there's some bookends either side. And I'd be in a happy place with all those books, obviously, at night time. But I haven't yet found a Tip Shelf. There's a place called Cromford, which actually I think we're going to. There's Dovedale, there's Langset, there's... what's that? Bluebellwood Nature Reserve. Well, we've missed that, obviously. St. Lawrence Church somewhere. Grindleford. That sounds an interesting place, doesn't it? Grindleford. Grindleford. You've got to call there. Hi, Bradfield. Anyway, lots of lovely walks. Thank you so much to the lovely Craggs there. That was very kind. What else have we got on here? Put it on sundries. Oh, that's Robert doing tax advice. Claire Leach says, does Mark Selwood have YouTube channel. Yes, he does. And I asked him to put the URL in so everyone could go and check him out when they're bored with me. It's a very nice YouTube channel. Henry says the Jobsworth at Essex Road Station. I got told off for taking a picture, so I just took a load more. If he really wanted me not to take pictures, he should have said take... He shouldn't... If he didn't want me to take pictures, he should have said take loads of pictures. Yes, there's a bit of logic in that somewhere, but I see what you mean. By the way, if you're on the street... If you're on public highway, you are allowed to take pictures. People can come out. There's loads of videos on YouTube. You go and look at them. But you can take pictures. If you're on the public right of way, you can take pictures. People can come out and say, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't take pictures of our building, mate." No. But they're actually wrong. And it's really only if you're causing a nuisance that the police can shunt you on or put you in jail. Of course, Jordan says, I'll be looking forward to the Peak District videos. Thank you, Jordan. He says, if you're going to go to Bakewell, I fully recommend trying the Bakewell tart or pudding. Very delicious. Well, apparently a Bakewell tart, I've had this on strict authority from one of my viewers, is what it sounds like with, a woman of a certain way. So I'm quite looking forward to that, really. As for the pudding, that's just something you eat with, whatever. So it's not as interesting. But we've got separate rooms in Tip Shelf. So, one might be bringing back something from Bakewell, which would be very nice to a singleton like myself. And I believe Kevin Hall is also a singleton. So it's share and share... No, I don't think we'll go down that route. Thank you very much. Malcolm Coghill says, I've got a bit of warm water. What? You've got what? Do you need the loo or something? He says, I got a bit of water from a bowl of dirty water that's been in the back garden for the last few weeks. Peeked at it under a microscope. It's full of little creatures. Ah, bless. Full of lovely little creatures all looking up you going, what's that great big eye? What's that great big eye looking at us? Squirm, 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 squirm. Must be absolutely terrifying. Imagine there you are in a nice little bit of warm water at the bottom of the garden, minding your own business, and all of a sudden this giant beady eye is peering down at you going, hello, 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 what's going on here? With the peak cap on. Because it's Malcolm Coghill, because he's in that neck of the woods, aren't you? With your peak cap on going, no, I don't think you should be in there, you little creatures. I'm so sorry you haven't signed tax form 94173 and you haven't signed up to the withdrawal agreement on the Brexit thing. So therefore you can't actually remain in that bowl of water. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to throw you down the drain. Oh, goody, the drain, lovely, lovely, lovely. Going down the drain for a little sort of creature in the bottom of a bucket of weird water must be like catching a train. Probably the Seattle to Carlisle train, very famous train service with lots of countryside, which it's a shame because Robert Croser wouldn't let me go on. He said, no, Richard, we're not going on any of that nonsense. Oh, dear heavens above, we're not doing any of that. No, you're sticking to staying in the rain with me up north. Oh, right, cheers. Yes, so that's really nice. Sue Blount says she's going to buy him one. I'm not quite sure. What, Bakewell? Oh, are you? Nice. Make sure she's a nice girl. That's all I can say. Hello, I've lost all the things. Tip Shelf is a nice place, says Malcolm. That's very nice. It's Tib Shelf, not Tip. Oh, that's all right. I keep that in there, though. Nothing's planned for there, Henry. Henry's obviously... Are you going to New Mills? I went there for the first time on Saturday. Lovely town. No, we're going to the old mills, I'm afraid. We're going to the old derelict mills. The mills that haven't been milled for 25,000 years. Neolithic man was the last person to do any milling round there. And then we're going to be the tourists who will be actually milling around, which will be quite... Like Emmett's. Apparently, Mark... Selwood, lovely Mark Selwood. Isn't it? It's beautiful, isn't it? Lovely Mark Selwood down there in Cornwall. He calls the locals Emmets, and apparently Emmets is a name given to ants. And so when you look at Mousehole, it's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it? It is. It is very beautiful, Mark. When you look at that, Nikki, have you got my dinner ready yet? How's the dinner, Mark? Has she got it ready and cooked? Because you know what will happen. You can't watch that Richard Vobes. Come upstairs and eat. Are you down in the basement, by the way? Because you said she's upstairs cooking your dinner. Where does she cook it? Is she on the roof? She got a barbecue going on there. Oh, it's a very nice barbecue, Richard. It's beautiful, isn't it? It is beautiful. Yes, it's beautiful, Mark. Kevin's around. Anyway, look, I've got stuff to do. Right, so I'm going to break off from the comments for a moment. We've done the Cheryl crack. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may remember or you may not remember, those of you who've listened to The Naked Englishman, my audio diary of my life, equipment broke and I had a hump and I spent a lot of money. Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, but equipment has arrived. I've got my replacements. Now, I have this gear already, but two of them seem to have broken. This is my Zoom F1 LP, whatever that is. LP, I don't know what LP stands for. Oh, Lavia Mic Pack. Lavia Mic, that's LMP, if you'd rather. I haven't opened it. It only arrived yesterday, and it's been on my desk. I haven't actually opened it, so I thought I'd open it live on the show to show you. This is a bit like one of those opening videos. Apparently, you know, if you do an opening video, never mind going out every single day and filming something interesting, some heritage, landscape and nature. Never mind all of that. All you've got to do is buy some stuff from Amazon or get people to send it to you for free. Stick a camera up here like this and just open boxes. Apparently, that is the way to get millions and billions and trillions of views. Millions and billions. Vince Hillians makes you quite illions. That's a Burkus Way joke for those that remember the Burkus Way back in the day. I'm sure Steve Pilfold remembers the Burkus Way. The Burkus Way to dynamic living. Oh, yes. Joe Kendall, Chris Emmett, Nigel Reese and Fred Harris. One of the best programmes ever made. And here it is. There we are. That's the Zoom in its entirety, looking absolutely all packed away and looking perfect and actually repaired and ready for action. So that's... I won't bother to get it out because can't be asked. Can't be bothered. Sorry. So that's that. The other bit of gadgetry that which I also haven't opened is this Tascam DR10X, which you would have seen. The one I've got has got a dodgy connection on it, unfortunately. Some of the footage in Cumbria is a bit like that. Sorry about that. Only when Robert Croser speaks, funnily enough. Every time I speak, you get to hear, you know, reserved... What is it? Reserved pronunciation? What was the phrase, you know, the Queen speak? The way that the Queen modelled her speech on me, by the way. Something like reserved pronunciation. I can't remember. Anyway, there's the new version of it. The rocker switch here actually is all right, but it's still the same old rocker switch. They need to design that, and it's got all the gubbins and stuff. Anyway, it looks very nice. Haven't taken that out of the box until this second, so there we are, a bit of equipment. This is all the patrons' money I'm spending, ladies and gentlemen, making sure that the sound quality is good on the videos. I do try my utmost. And another little piece of kit that I bought for, I think, £7.99, ladies and gentlemen. I don't spend all your money at once. And this, do you know what? Oh, by the way, what's in the bag? We have got a what's in the bag. What's in the bag related to the gear that I'm showing you. So we'll have a guess of that in a second. It's all going swimmingly tonight, isn't it? What's in the bag? Anyway, what's in this box? What's in this box? I'll tell you what's in this box. This is a sucker. There's one born every minute, isn't it? The idea is this clamps to my head like this. It's a bit like the old doctors. Do you remember the old doctors when they used to come and examine you? When I had my tonsils out, they had a big fat mirror thing here. I thought, how do you see in that mirror? And he was looking down like this. Of course, it was reflecting the light, wasn't it, in those days? Because it could be a Dalek, couldn't it? Exterminate! You will be exterminated! Kill the doctor! I obey! I obey! I have a hurt throat! Yes, I'm not surprised! It's rather coarse! I know! Please stop! All right! I obey! Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Glass of water time. Yeah, you can hold the men in the white coats till after the end of the show, thank you. So what is this? This is a sucker. That now I don't know how this works. Oh, it's got a nice ratchet on it. When I say ratchet, I'm not talking about the stuff that comes out the bottom of a mammal that can run around your house that we're always about 6 feet from. Not talking that. A ratchet is something different to what you're thinking about. This is to go in the car, ladies and gentlemen, and a GoPro is supposedly... a GoPro is a GoPro in its little cage. GoPro in a cage. La 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 la. Let the GoPro go free. No, I won't. I refuse. The GoPro slots in. God knows how it does. It slots in there somehow. I thought it had a. Oh, it has. It's sort of got a thing. But it slots in there on the. So it's kind of dash cam. I'll just do it like this for the moment, so you get the basic idea. That goes on the window thing, so that when Kevin Hall and I, hello Richard, Kevin here, are driving up to the Peak District. No, you can't do it like that. We can film ourselves and do a little bit of whilst we're travelling around ourselves and turn it round hopefully and film out of the window, which will be quite good. So that was only £7, so I'm hoping to enhance the videos. So I'm afraid that did come out of the patrons' money. I hope you don't mind, seeing if you're a patron of the Vobes. But it's all, you know, bits and pieces to enhance the show and make. I can't remember how it goes round now. Something like that. So I haven't tried it out yet. I'm going to try it out at the weekend. Do some experiments and all that. So that'll be exciting. So, it's all go, isn't it? It's all go. So, ladies and let's have a look in the comments, and then we'll get on to what's in the bag. What's in the bag? Little questionnaire, and I've got a photo. Guess what it is? Thing to show you. We've got that coming up, so don't go away. I don't know what the time is. No idea. But we've got a few extra bits and pieces in today's show. Been working very hard. So let's have a look here. Throth Ninja, here we go. Throth Ninja, I still don't know who you are. You probably says not sure you can photograph people, or is it just kids without permission? Think you are meant to obscure number plates too. Apparently, there is a fantastic resource on the internet called YouTube. And there's a video with a photographer that I watched who interviewed a policeman who is a keen photographer, and he is a high-up policeman, and he got the lowdown of what is actually in the law. And according to this video with this policeman, a real policeman, I have no reason to believe they're not who they say they are. I think it was with something like Hertfordshire Police or somebody like that, you know. May have been Juliet Bravo, for all I know, for those who can remember Juliet Bravo. Lovely girl, but very thick thighs. Anyway, this policeman said, so if it was Juliet Bravo, it's obviously in drag, but never mind, let's not worry about that too much. Or he's had a trans A B C D Q E F B F L N Q, whatever these, you know, trans people have moved in. Anyway, the policeman said, if you're on public highway, you can still film children. He says morally you shouldn't, but technically you can. So don't. But basically, you're not actually breaking the law. But if you repeatedly do something and you're upsetting people, then other laws come into play. But if you're just there and you're just photographing and what have you, then that's okay. But if you just start, if you are one of those horrible men that photograph children, one of those sort of things, and you're hell-bent on it, then you'll be breaking other laws. So there's common sense. I don't know about numbers. I think if you're a broadcaster, then that's different. It depends what you're going to do with the photographs. See, taking the pictures is one thing. Publishing the photographs is something else. So, so that's a different thing. So I'm just talking about the process of taking them, because when you come to publishing them, wherever you publish them, whether it's on the internet or elsewhere, then there's obviously different rules. But just physically taking them there, what can they do? They certainly cannot confiscate your camera, and they cannot digitally ask you to remove it. Even if you go onto private property, apparently they cannot take your camera and they cannot make you delete the images that you take. They can only ask you to leave, and they cannot manhandle you to leave, even though they may be intimidating. So you could actually do it. But obviously it depends where you publish it, because once you publish it, you're open for all sorts of legal action, which may or may not be different. So, be careful on that. Anyway, so there we go. So what else? We've got keys are in a bowl. Bakewell Turt, very, very nice, says somebody. Oh, yeah, so Throth Ninja, we've done that. Throth Ninja, if it's a public space, you can take photos of anyone, including children, says Mr. Great Plum. He knows a thing or two about taking pictures of anyone. He's taking pictures of me, actually, which is very, very handy. Sounds even better, says Henry's Adventures, which is great. Lara says, hello, Nikki. Nikki Jess, yes, Mark is with me eating. Good. He's not eating her at the time. That would be rude. Malcolm says, Eope, Robert Croser wouldn't let you catch the train from Seattle. There's a cafe in, not Seattle, Settle even. The one in Seattle is a little bit further to the west, if my memory is right. Settle Down, that's a cafe. It was there in 2002. I love it. Settle down, love. Cup of tea and a nice biscuit. That's what you need. It looks impressive. What is it, says Malcolm. They all look impressive, don't they? No idea what you're on about, says Steve Pilfold. No, neither do I. Malcolm says, I know a bike racer that does opening video boxes. He don't need any extra money as he's a dentist. It's like videos are exploring old buildings. A few are okay, but then it gets boring. Absolutely. I mean, you know, what's so interesting about opening boxes? Getting rid of the cardboard, that's a big challenge. That's what I always find. Oh, received pronunciation. Thank you very much. That's it. Received pronunciation. My husband and I have managed to get our received pronunciation from Richard Vobes. What a lovely chap he really is. We should give him another OBE, only he's already got one in the middle of his name. VOBES. That's very true. She gave me the OBE when I was but an infant, which was nice. We have Thai curry Lara. The Thai curry Lara is a different type of Thai curry that you could possibly... It's the Lara flavouring that makes all the difference. Lara says, in fun fact, PETA, animal rights people, technical name, obviously, sued a photographer for publishing a photo of a chimpanzee that a chimpanzee took of himself on the photographer's camera. Well, that's, yes, that's down to the publishing aspect of it, but he couldn't sue the chimpanzee for taking the photo, but only for thereafter publishing it. Where in Sussex says, I think you have to be sensible about what you're doing. If you're just going to take photos of people, even in a public place, then you can't really justify the invasion of privacy, so don't. Well, there you are. It's sort of rules and courses. Right, what's in the bag, ladies and gentlemen? What is in the bag? Related to the stuff that I have shown you, related to that, in a way, what could it possibly be? Start your guessing now. Tick, 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 ding, ding, bing. What do we got here? Nothing. Oh, well, nobody knows. What's in the bag? Okay, we'll do that. What's in the bag? Have a guess what it is. What's in the bag? Wires. A bag of dust, says Emily Champion. Actually, no, it's kept in the kitchen. It's more likely to be a bag of ash in my kitchen with the Essie. Broken kit, says Steve Pilfold. Very good, but no, it's not that. It is related. Popcorn. That's a good one. Popcorn is quite good. Broken camera parts. A bag of pigeon feathers. Pigeon feathers. No, it's related to all this equipment and gear and, you know, cameras and recorders and things. In fact, it relates to camera and recorder. Both of them. Camera and recorder, both. Very easy. Can you eat it? No, you can't. Breast implants, says Steve Pilford. I thought you'd get this, Steve Pilford, but stop talking about yourself and your lovely mazookas. Like I said, the picture is on the outside, says Malcolm Coggill. Yeah, no. A microphone, XLR leads. No. It is related to these two. This is a recorder in here, and this is a camera. A new lens. No. That would only do one of them, you see. This goes across. A tripod. No, because a tripod, you'd put one or the other on. This does both. It connects the two items. What can it be? A Betamax? No. An SD card? No. Betamax. Tripod? No. I'm just looking at a camcorder. No. It's an SD card. Yes, you could plug those into each. That's a very good guess, but that's not it. Flipping carrots, says Michael. No, it's not flipping. A gorilla grip. You could use them on both, but you would use this when you are running both simultaneously. A US cable. No, this is when you're actually filming. When you're actually filming, the cards are in there, the things are running, you're just about to do your stuff, and sometimes you would use this. Amateurs tend not to, but the professionals do use it. You'll know exactly what it is as soon as you see it. What's in the bag? Radio mic. No, it's not a radio mic. Batteries. No. A miniature Bessie. And the Veg Grower Podcast. Hallelujah. Gets it right. He knows what we're talking about. Yes. A clapperboard. Scene 421. Shot 5. Take 1. Action. There it is. That's a genuine clapperboard, ladies and gentlemen. The old slate. You don't use them so much these days, but what I tend to do if I want to synchronise, this is how you would use it. You're synchronising what you take with your camera with the sound that you take. So both items are running. You switch them both running, so the camera is rolling. You're not taking the sound from the camera. but you're doing it from a dedicated recorder, and they're going to be out of sync because you're not turning them on exactly precisely the same time, which means when you talk, if you try and run it back, it's all out of kilter. So you need somehow to sync it together. And as a clapperboard is one way, like that. So how does that work? A clapperboard, you've often wondered, how does that work? I've seen people do it, but why do they do it? So visually, on the video, or in the old days, cine film, you would write, you know, all the details about what shot it is, what take it is, all the other bits and pieces that you want to know. So that's in the scene. And when you make the clap, you can see here the moment that that joins up. So, and at that moment, you get that sharp sound, the clap. So when you, on the picture, you look for that moment. On the sound, you look, when you're looking at it digitally, you're looking for the peak of the clap. Then you can marry those two up in your editing suite, and you're all in sync, and it's brilliant. It's I use it all the time. Now, I know that the software these days can do all that based on the waveform. It can match it all up, but sometimes you may not have recorded sound on the camera, and there may not be any sound on the camera, and often I don't bother to record sound on the camera, and you want to do it manually. And it's better to know how to do it, and then you can do the quick cut ways later, but it's having the old-fashioned way. So there we go. So Steve Pilfoy says, all you're now doing is raising attention to the slight out of syncness of this show, which I had noticed until you did that. Well, that may be true. Unfortunately, I can't do anything to do with that because the live runs in a completely different system. But there we are. Look, this, you can see how out of sync this is. What can I do? Slap his head. That's what I do for my sync marks. And if you put in Bald Explorer sync sound into YouTube, you'll see a funny video of me slapping my head many, many times. I made it about a year ago. Bald Explorer sync sound, something like that. And it's not S-I-N-K, it's S-Y-N-C, just so you get the spelling right. It's about 2 frames out, so sorry about that. Oh, that explains what the clapperboard is for, says Malcolm Coghill. There we go. Some people don't know, and it's well worth having it. Nigel Happier up here. Nikki Jess says, really interesting. Thank you, Mr. Richard. No problem, Mrs. Nikki, which is lovely. Synced, all fine. There we go. Thank you very much, Mr. Veg Grower. Out of sync, I don't think, says Joe Merchant, which is great. The blooming HDMI to USB dongles are a pain in the bum. For that is true. Glad mostly it seems to be in focus for everybody. In focus, dear oh dear. Right, how are we doing on the time front? We've only got 10 minutes to go, which is a bit of a shame. Let's see what else we've done. Peak District, we've done equipment arrive. Right, we're on to the test. We're on to the test now, ladies and gentlemen. I just hold up for a second on your comments because I need your help, and you need my help. I think that's how to put it. Tomorrow's video on the Born Explorer is the lovely Julia when she was well, and I made a video about the wonderful wild flowers all along the seafront between Worthing and Lancing, where Julia lives. And I've cycled along there to see her, to have a nice cup of tea and have production meetings and things. Oh, production meetings sounds very swish, doesn't it? And we have a good old chinwag, look at the garden and sit in the sun, put our feet up, all that usual nonsense, and pretend that we're talking Bald Explorer stuff when, of course, you know, we're digging up turnips and things like that. Anyway, on that journey, I've seen all these amazing flowers in bloom. I thought it'd be a marvellous thing to do is make a video. Now, I wonder if our mate Andrew from Croatia is there. Andrew Norris, are you still there? Because you would be the kingpin for identifying these based on your lovely blog your vlog that you put out there. More on vlogs in a minute, by the way. So I'm going to do a half quiz, and then I need some help identifying things myself. So here's the first picture. Can you tell me what that is? Have you any idea? I'll leave it on the screen for a few minutes. Have you any idea what that is? If you do know, shout it out, type it in, and you'll be helping me out, which will be great. Actually, I do know the answer to that one, but it would be good if you... No, Linda Kane says, V as let Ian. A what? It's a flower, yes. Sue says it's Jupiter's beard. Well, Linda Kane says valerian. Yes, that's correct, Linda. It is a red Valerian, that one. Red Valerian. There we are. Judith Oakley's got it. Marvellous. It's everywhere. You'll see some of that in tomorrow's video, which will be very nice. Right, on to the next one then. Here's the next one. What are these? What are these, ladies and gentlemen? If you know, let me know. Judith's got it. Kevin says it's lilac. No, it's not lilac. Well done, Judith. That's brilliant. The great thing about this, the delay is not too much, which is marvellous. So what do you suppose these are? These are everywhere, and they all come in these great big bunches. You don't just see one. There's like 25,000 altogether. Linda Kane knows her bloody flowers, doesn't she? Joe says it's ox-eye daisies. They are a form of daisies. The Erigion, I think, is correct, Linda, but I only know it by the... I do sort of know it by that name, but I know it from the English common name, which Lara's saying is giant pink daisies. They're not actually the giant pink ones. Marguerite, is it what Cheryl says? Someone I was exploring last week had an app for to identify. It was brilliant. These are, well, I've seen them as either seaside daisies or sea breeze. Hello to James, who's just arrived. Hello, James. Nice to see you. So that's what we think those are. Okay. What about this one? Nice, easy one. A nice, easy one for you. On the beach, see a lot of this. It looks absolutely splendid this time of year. It's kind of rubbery, a bit like a rubber plant, but what is it? Have you any idea? Do let me know. That would be great. Linda Kane. Linda Kane, you are far too intelligent. Yes, sea kale it is. Sea kale. That's Hitler's plant. Yes, Hitler's plant is the lovely sea kale. That joke is one that caused the lovely Julia to thump me when I said it to her the last time. And finally in the first... No, hang on, we've got two more in the ones that I know. So here we go. Here's another one found on the seafront. Which, what, and where is this one? Apparently Malcolm says that on the Hitler's plant, sea kale, the lower leaves are edible. But what is this? Oh, Linda Kane, straight in for the kill. Look at that. Everyone can just relax. This is the Linda identify these plants, please, because we don't know what they are. It's Nikki Jess says, is it a buttercup? No, this is on the beach. It is, in fact, the yellow horned poppy. Quite right, Linda. Well done. Which is great. James DeWill says, hello to you. Lara says it's a yellow poppy. It's a horned. It's very important you get the horned bit in. Kushti Viking says it's the King Cups. Well, we don't think that. Right, here we go. This is a bit more tricky maybe, but I'm sure Linda will know. Hang on, let's get this one lined up. There we go. What about this? I hope you can see it nice and clearly. I'm looking for Linda now to help us out on this one. I do know I do know what it is, but I don't know how you pronounce it. So, oh, here we go, straight in. Linda Kane, it's amazing. You spoke about it in the NE. Oh, did I? Oh, blimey. There we go. You see, there's no secrets in my world. It's either on the Vobes show, it's in the Bald Explorer, on the Naked Englishman, or you know, in conversation with me. Dean says it's a lavender plant. Linda says it's pronounced bugloss. Oh, well, we got that wrong then. It is, in fact, the Viper's bugloss. I think we said it was bugloss. But it is bugloss. There we go. I can't go back and re-edit the video. It's all lined up ready for tomorrow. Absolutely brilliant. So, well, there we go. We bow to your greatness, Linda. We certainly do. So, Linda, now I've got four more that I don't know what the names are. So, Linda, we're waiting for you. I have to write them down. So, Linda, do you know what this one is? Not the red ones, not the red valerian. Now, I know what they look like, but these are huge. They actually, you know, those circular globes are about the size of a man's fist, if not slightly bigger. They're bigger than a tennis ball. They're the size of a grapefruit. So what are those? I mean, they must be related to some form of dandelion, I should think. But what kind of dandelion? So I'm just waiting for... Where's Linda? Everyone's saying dandelion, yes. Type of bugloss is a terrible weed in Australia called Patterson's curse. Oh, right. Linda's very quiet on this one, Linda. Giant dandelion? She says, no idea, some kind of thanks. So we think it's some kind of dandelion. Okay, all right, fair enough. So how about this one then? This is an interesting one. There's lots of this all over the place. I don't know whether it's not yet come into flower. It looks like it ought to be about to come into flower, but there's a lot of this all over the place. I wonder if Linda or anybody knows. That will be good. Did you photo the leaves? No, the leaves, you mean? Sorrel, she says. Is it sorrel? That would be quite interesting, actually. Sorrel. I'm going to have to look it up. Sorrel, that would be good. Rumex, maybe. Looks like a weed. Well, it depends. A weed is a plant, I believe, if it's in the wrong place. If it's in the right place and you like it, it isn't a weed. Let me look at Hayward's wildflower key, says Malcolm. We'll be quick. That grows per the allotment, but bigger. Oh, right. Green stuff. It's not sorrel. Okay, it's not sorrel. It is specific. I mean, these are specifically growing by the sea, and they're enjoying the sea. So they must be a sea-based plant. So I don't know what it is, but I need to look that up. Okay, let's try the next one then. Here we go. What do you suppose this one is? I know it's not easy because it could be a number of things. But again, it's by the seaside. Lots of little plants, and again, it's all out of one bush. It's a bit, the head of that is very reminiscent to cow parsley in a way, but it's much smaller than cow parsley. It's not as tall, and I only got it from the top, so I realised that's not the best photograph in the world, and I've only got the one of it, but it was growing there. I don't think it's elderflower, because it's not on a tree. It's not on a tree, but it's very similar to elderflower. It's a plant in its own right, yes. So everyone's saying elder, but it's not actually on a tree. It's just a little shrub on the ground that blossoms like that with a billion little white flowers. So, okay, we don't know what that one is. And the last one in this little bit then, here we go. This is a curious looking thing. What do you suppose that is? That's a lovely looking thing. It does seem to have some spiky holly nearby, but I don't know that that's holly, and I'm not 100% convinced it comes from the same plant, but it may be wrong. The leaves I'm talking about. So if anybody knows, that would be great. Maybe small because of sea wind. Oh, I see. Yeah, it could be. But there were elder trees nearby, but the elder looked slightly different. That's all. The only reason I said that. Lara says, is it a red berry? It's how big is that? That's about the size of a man's thumbnail. That it's quite a funny little round thing, like the end of, if you take the thumbnail and the thumb. Thistle in the background, not the same plant. No, that's what I thought. It's globular, starry head, linear leaves, but how many sepals is the corolla? Yeah, you'd be forever. Linda says, absolutely no idea. Fascinated. We did see not so many of those. Anyway, there we go. That was our little test. I hope you found that interesting. There'll be more tests and funny things like that in forthcoming Vogue shows. Just constantly trying to think of things. Anyway, so that's what Julia and I will get up to in tomorrow's video. I hope you'll enjoy that. We had a lovely time at Burton Mill. I had a lovely time at Burton Mill on today's video in the Bald Explorer, and I've launched this idea. I'm still waiting for Barry and Chris to come back. They've said in principle they're more than happy if we went for a walk with the group, the Bald Explorer group, round Burton Mill Pond, which is a nice walk which would take, depending on how long you take, it could take 45 minutes, an hour, and then go to the Burton Mill. They'll let us all in, and they'll actually mill some flour for us, show us how it all works, put the belt on, and show us the turbine and all of that. So I've pitched the idea to them for a Bald Explorer walking group meet at the end of September, either the Saturday or Sunday, the last weekend in September. So that could be quite good, hoping to do that. Friday show, ladies and gentlemen, Friday show. I don't know if you've noticed, but a number of people, I'm trying to encourage as many people as possible to have a go at vlogging on the Bald Explorer group. If you're not a member of the Bald Explorer group, you've visited this wonderful YouTube page and you're thinking, what are you talking about? On Facebook, I know not everybody likes Facebook, I appreciate that. On Facebook, there is a group. So it's worth just joining Facebook, doing nothing else, but just joining the group. The Bald Explorer group. Very nice bunch of people, ever so friendly. It's the friendliest corner of the internet, as somebody happened to say. Really true. It's very nice. People share their photos and they share their bits of video that they've taken. They ask questions and all sorts of things. Very friendly place, very nice. And some people have started to imitate they've started to do their own vlogs. And vlog is like a video blog or a video journal, and you do it about something, 2 or 3 minutes tops, and you shove it on the group. You can do it with your phone, and it's really interesting. People are doing some fascinating things. All I say is make sure it's got something to do with heritage, landscape and nature. It's such a broad area, and that's what the group's niche is about. So, you know, and I'm trying to encourage people to do that. Now, I know some people are a bit frightened, a bit nervous of perhaps picking up their phone or a camera or whatever because they think they need all the stuff. So on Friday, I've just put together today my top 10 simple tips on how to vlog. So that'll be Friday's video. That's all primed, ready to go on Friday. Watch out for that. My top 10 tips for vlogging. It's very simple. It's not technical. They're not technical tips. I'll do another 10 technical ones to help you out. These are much simpler things. So check that out. That will be absolutely fantastic. Let's go and see what the reaction is to everybody. Mark Silver says, can't wait to see your video with Mr. Crosser. So the videos with Mr. Crosser, yes, that's true. They start, as Mr. Crosser has been, a bit quiet now and is behaving himself. They'll start at the weekend. So I've got a bit more editing to do, but they'll start at the weekend and hopefully run to the end of next week while Kevin and I are in Peak District. So I need to get those all scheduled up. So that would be good. Malcolm says, that was enjoyable. What's in the bag? Identifying things. Maybe a special live show. That will be good. We have a live show coming from Kevin's place in July. More details about that next week. Hoping to do a live with Kevin from Tib Shelf. We hope. Fingers crossed. Next Wednesday, he and I will be in the Peak District. That's where we hope to be doing it from. Mark says the group is the best. Where in Sussex tonight is the best, the latest sunset of the year. Nights start drawing in now. Yes, that's it. Get your winter draws on. Kevin says, Andrew subscribes to your YouTube channel, which is great. Dean Cooper says, I can film with my GoPro, but not sure how to link and edit the films. Well, I'll be doing some, over the next few months, I'll be doing some hints and tips and helps and things and all of that. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. 6 minutes over, according to the clock on the computer here, but it's been absolutely fantastic. You've all been stars. Thank you for taking the time to come and see me on the Wednesday. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel here, and check out the videos on the YouTube channel for Richard Vobes, otherwise known as the Bald Explorer, and of course the Facebook page and the Facebook group under the same name. And that'll be absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea. So from me, thank you for watching. Take care, one and all, and bye for now. Goodbye.